The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
Hello, everyone. This is Adam Banks and Renee Cobb, and welcome to another Off the Cuff and Overtones Live Collab episode. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Adam Banks, the host of Off the Cuff, and I am joined today by Renee Cobb, the host of Overtones Live. You are listening yet again to two of the hottest radio shows at Radio Lex coming together to create another special mashup show. This is the 486th episode of Off the Cuff. At the same time, this is the 196th episode of Overtones Live. We are thrilled to have the theme of this special collab episode to be our Josie Music Awards Kentucky Preview Part 6. We are coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening on the radio, you can stream the show live from the station website at radiolex.us. Renee and I are both broadcasting from the Deborah Hensley Studios here at Radio Lex on North Limestone. It is September the 7th, 2023. We have some really cool guests in the studio as well as over the airwaves to talk about the state of Kentucky's outstanding presence on the 2023 nominees list for the Josie Music Awards to be held on October the 22nd at Nashville, Tennessee's Grand Ole Opry House. The Josie Music Awards is the largest, most respected, revered award show and one of the most prestigious events and associations in the independent music industry. Their mission statement says, chase your dreams, be a part of something big.
And we are chasing some pretty big dreams here this afternoon on Off the Cuff. And without further ado, Adam, let's strike up our traditional Kentucky music lineup. So we will be presenting the music of Lexington, Kentucky's first-time Josie nominee, Tiffany Nesbeth. Let's give it up for Tiffany, everybody.
Next in the lineup, we will feature a guitarist who is up for Musician of the Year, Ashton Brett Dunn.
We will also hear the music of Josie Music Awards veteran who is up for this year for the prestigious Entertainer of the Year Award. He calls Nicholasville his home. Let's welcome Robert Eskridge of Robert Eskridge and Southern Days.
Hey! And next in the lineup, they are also from Lexington and highly acclaimed wherever they go, which is a lot of places over the last few years. They are first-time nominees for the Josie Music Awards. On Spotify, they have, get this, folks, 67,000 monthly listeners. Let's welcome Rags and Riches to Off the Cuff and Overtones Live.
And let's see where I'm at. Go ahead, you're next.
Also, in the studio, another Josie Music Awards veteran who hails from Grayson, Kentucky, a frequent flyer at Austin City Saloon here in Lexington. Please give it up for Dustin Burchett.
Woo! And Adam, you know I always feature an adopted Kentuckian for each episode, and this week's adopted son is from Cincinnati, Ohio, who has also played the twist and cork here in Lexington. We will be hearing the music of Kevin McCoy Band to close out the show today. Let's give Kevin a round of applause.
Yay! And we are once again standing room only in the Radio Lex studios this evening with these musical guests. So let's get this musical party and Josie Music Awards Kentucky preview show started. So Renee, we have a full musical plate and several musical chairs to make. So let's see if we can fill this menu with some great music from Kentucky artists in just 60 minutes of airtime.
So right off of the gate, we are going to do beauty first today. How about that? Tiffany Nesbeth, we are so happy to have you on Off the Cuff Overtones mashup party this afternoon. Let's hear it for Tiffany, everyone.
Hey.
Thank you guys so much. I'm super excited to be here.
Tiffany, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh gosh, let's see. Born and raised in Frankfort, Kentucky. I started singing when I was like 4 years old. My dad had a music room when I was a kid, and I would lock myself in there and record songs. The first song I ever recorded was by Kim Wilde, Keep Me Hanging On, and I think that'll always be one of my favorite songs. But just kind of been singing ever since then. I didn't really take music seriously until I moved out of Frankfort and to the big city of Lexington.
That's outstanding. So you are nominated for this year's Josie Music Awards. I understand it's more than one. What are these awards that you've been nominated for?
Well, I'm super excited. I mean, I've never been nominated before, but of course, this is my first album. But I'm nominated for 4 awards. Oh my God.
Let's give it up.
That's
Woo!
huge.
So my first submission and 4 awards. I'm up for Rising Star of the Year for female. I'm up for Song of the Year under the multi-genre single-songwriter category, which is Beautiful Drug, which I think we could play for you today.
Yes.
And then I'm up for Vocalist of the Year, Country Female, and EP of the Year, female. So my first EP and all these nominations, I can't even tell you how excited I was when the nominations came in and my phone started blowing up. I was mowing the yard and I came back inside and I had all these messages from Facebook and I had no idea.
I mean, you got to feel like a rock star to be nominated for just more than one.
I was hoping for just one. Then, so initially I got 3 and they hadn't come out with EP of the Year yet. So at first it was 3 and I was over the moon excited about that. And then a couple weeks later, my phone started blowing up again. Everybody was like, hey, you got EP of the Year too. So needless to say, when you put your first album out there, it's so stressful because you have no idea, how people are going to take your music. So to immediately get 4 noms was the greatest validation ever for your first album.
Well, let's talk about the song we're about to play. What are we going to hear?
Okay, so this song is a song that I wrote called Beautiful Drug. It's a play on words. It's about love and toxic relationships being an addiction. And so
very relatable.
I think that
we say that every week, don't we?
Anytime there's something like that,
yes.
People probably think I have the worst love life. But.
Same. But it's the first song that I ever wrote, and I really, really love it, and I hope the listeners can relate to it. It's kind of a jazzy, bluesy feel, but even though I'm under the country umbrella.
All right, well, let's get to it, folks. Let's listen to her song Beautiful Drug by Tiffany Nesbeth.
You set me up just to knock me down. You build me up just to tear me down. It seems like I'm always on the ground. You're poison in my blood. I wanna quit you. You're a beautiful drug. Your kiss takes me to another place. Your touch, your love, the way that you taste. You're beautiful drug. A beautiful drug. A beautiful drug. Beautiful drug.
And that was Tiffany Nesbeth with Beautiful Drug. That was outstanding. And I have to mention, Tiffany is also a nurse, I believe, and served this community very well during pandemic. And I just wanted to thank you for that. We have a lot of musicians that are in the medical field, and I just think it's awesome. But I want to ask you, what are you most looking forward to doing, or what are you most looking forward to participating in on that long weekend in Nashville?
Several things, mainly walking, manifesting. So I'm going to walk across that hallowed ground of the Grand Ole Opry. I'm super excited about that. Really hoping to walk across at least once to accept an award. But also, I'm filming that weekend. So I'm working on a film right now. You will see it on streaming next year. It's called #AlmostFamous.
Oh, man.
And so we're going to be filming that weekend as well. It's going to be part of the film. So.
And there's also a lot of Kentucky musicians that are doing things that weekend in Nashville. We're going to try to get a schedule together. I know Listen Locally is going to have a little Kentucky get-together at Nash House on the Saturday before the gala night.
Okay.
So we're just looking forward to it, Adam. And you are here to introduce the next guest, which I understand you are a huge fan of, but have never met until today.
Until today, and when I walked in the studio, I told these guys straight off the bat what a big fan I am of them. But we are moving from a nominee in the country genre to the multi-genre category, and I am so excited to see the dynamic duo in the studio today, right here on Off the Cuff and Overtones Live. I'm a big fan, like you guys were saying, and I have them right here in the studio with me. Let's give a big round of applause for Rags and Riches.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. Just introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about you.
Yeah, so we're Rags and Riches, obviously. We started in 2019, and it's been an incredible journey so far. We've played over 250 shows all over the country in 40-plus states now.
And you two are brothers.
We are.
Biological brothers.
Yes.
Because you do look alike. Now, you're not. Are you twins?
No, we get that a lot, though.
Oh,
We're actually 5
how
years
long
apart.
have you been that way?
5 years apart. Who's older?
Who do you think's older?
Oh, that's a good question. I was sitting here trying to figure it out. You?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't really see it on the radio. But I just love the energy that you all bring to your music. The videos are just as good as the songs.
Thank you.
So you get inspired somehow, because when you're listening to your music, like I Need a Holiday or You Be My Little Smoothie, you just get inspiration from just like walking around? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, just like randomly, like anything will inspire us. I mean, where we travel a lot, it's easy to get a lot of things on the road, just seeing so many people and meeting people and stories they tell. So
you guys are nominated this year at the Josie Music Awards for the very first time. How does that make you all feel?
Yeah, we're super excited about it.
Okay, so talk about the category that you've been nominated in.
We are nominated in Duo of the Year and Song of the Year for pop.
Yeah, let's give it up to two
Let's
of them.
go.
We have now 6 in the room.
Yes, that's awesome. So we are going to play a song of yours that has been nominated. So it's called Talk.
Yes.
Well, talk about that song, how it come about.
Yeah, that one's funny. I always ask when we were playing it live, I'm like, does anybody have any haters? Because that one was about a personal hater of ours, and we wrote it off that inspiration. It kind of helped us get through it, and at this point, we don't think of that person until we play the song again.
Well, yeah. Don't you love...
So much there to unpack.
You gotta love being an artist, because, don't make an artist mad, because they have something that a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
They have creativity.
Yeah.
And if you channel your creativity through music, whether it's through anger or love or whatever, it can be dangerous for the person on the receiving end. I mean, look at Taylor Swift. She made a career off of it. So that's amazing. So, folks, if you just have time to go and look up their videos as well as their music, you got to do that too. So let's go ahead and hear the song Talk by Rags and Riches. We'll be back after the song.
Killing my vibe when I'm sky high, pulling me down, riptide, feeling alright for the first time. Here we go again. Talk, 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 talk. You're always saying that you can't stop, won't stop. I'm always hating that it's blah, 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 blah. You drive me crazy, got me tongue-tied all night. But I'm a good time on the run. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Mustang you drive, oh you're big time. You're just a match, but I'm a wildfire. Feeling alright, for the first time, for the first time. It's like it never ends. Talk, 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 talk. You're always saying that you can't stop, won't stop. I'm always hating that it's blah, 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 blah. You drive me crazy, got me tongue-tied all night. But I'm a good time on the run. Packing up my bones, try my luck out on the road. I won't sell my soul. Small town royalty ain't gold. Packing up my bones, try my luck out on the road. I won't sell my soul for your blah 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 blah. Talk, 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 talk. You're always saying that you can't stop, won't stop. I'm always hating that it's blah 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 blah. You drive me crazy, got me tongue-tied all night. But I'm a good time on the run. You think you're big time, big time. Killing my vibe, killing my vibe. You think you're big time, big time. You know.
You talk too much. You gotta love the fact that this song was written about haters.
And about talking.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta respect your haters, though. They're the only ones that really think that you're better than them. So
That's right.
That's true.
That's right.
now, what are you guys looking forward to the most when you go to Nashville around that Grand Ole Opry and going to the award show?
Yeah, I think obviously it's an honor just to be in the building anytime, like to see a concert or anything. So that's something we're looking forward to, and then seeing a bunch of family and friends too.
Oh, you got family down there in Nashville?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, are you two from Kentucky, like born and raised?
Born and raised in Lexington, yeah.
Yeah, so big UK football,
yeah,
basketball,
100%.
all that stuff. Now, I could be crazy, but have your guys' songs been played before at football games?
At the basketball games.
Okay, at basketball games.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to be exciting.
Yeah, he got to experience it. I haven't so far.
I was there when it was being played.
Did
so.
it come as a surprise?
Yeah, I came out of nowhere, so I was like, all right, this is really cool. So
And they have a real famous video that features Will Levis, and it was done out at the UK football field, and they got a lot of really good involvement from some UK sports stars.
Yeah.
And I just really want to commend them because they are just so energetic, and they have such marketability. Weren't you all like on a wave run, or were you out like a jet ski thing?
We
Like
were, and then we had the Yamaha.
Commercial,
We did,
yes.
and then also the new Nissan Aria car. That we're now their official commercial for them.
You guys just keep getting more impressive.
all of this in Lexington.
All of this right here.
Yeah, and we're here to tell you about it today.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so
Yes,
much
thank you
for
for being
Thank you
here.
for
being on the show.
Thank
That
you
was
for
awesome.
having us.
Renee, who do we have up next?
The next one that we're going to feature is Ashton Brett Dunn, and he's a multi-award nominated guitarist, singer-songwriter from the beautiful hills of southeastern Kentucky. He's not in the studio with us today, but we've been communicating over Messenger, as well as Ashton has shown up at performing for Dustin Collins, and he's a very popular guitarist to use for a lot of country acts here. Very versatile. He is endorsed by internationally recognized music instrument companies such as Page Music and Wampler Pedals. And he's also the music instructor at 2 school campuses and tours extensively as the guitarist for Sony recording artist and Billboard #1 charting country singer Dustin Collins, who is another one that is a really good artist for you to check out. Here's one of the many examples that showcase exactly why Ashton Brett Dunn has been nominated for Musician of the Year in guitar. This is Cherokee Shuffle. was Ashton Brett Dunn, and we're so glad to hear from him. We actually have Jonathan Goodwin is also nominated in that same category for Musician of the Year for guitar. So lots of great Kentucky talent to enjoy that weekend. And next up, we're going to go from instrumental back to country. We are now going to present the work of Robert Eskridge, who is nominated for 3 awards this year, one of them being Entertainer of the Year. So let's give it up for that. That's a great accomplishment. And Robert is the only Kentucky act up this year for that highly prestigious category, and we hope he brings it all home for us. Robert is on the STS country charts just this week on a chart that puts Kelsey Ballerini at number 1, Morgan Wallen at number 7, and then you find Robert Eskridge coming in at number 10.
Wow.
And Dylan Carmichael coming in at number 11. So 2 Nicholasville men right there in a row. It's unreal. And we're going to hear that top 10 song on the country charts right now. Here's Robert Eskridge with his nominated song, Takes.
A number 1 candle on birthday cake. She's got more frosting in her hair than on her plate. As she smiles for the camera, when it flashed, I remember thinking, I hope this takes. Please take. One day she's a baby crawling across the floor. I turn around, there's a young man standing at the door. He shook my hand and said, I'll have her home before 10, no matter what it takes. As we watch them walk away, all we could do was hope and pray that all the love and every lesson along the way takes. I hope it takes. And that same old gym where he had his first high school dance, we teared up when he marched in to pomp and circumstance. I hope he knows as he moves on, well, we've known all along that boy's got what it takes. As we watched him walk the stage, all we could do was hope and pray that all the love and every lesson along the way takes. I hope it takes. 3 months after graduation day, I'm helping her pack the trunk of that second-hand Chevrolet. She blows a kiss and drives away. Her mom and I just hope and pray that all the love and every lesson along the way takes. I hope it takes.
And next up, and also in the studio this afternoon, playing the game with us of how many musicians does it take to completely fill up a Radio Lex studio on a Thursday afternoon, has traveled from Grayson, Kentucky to be with us. Please welcome Dustin Burchett, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you all?
Doing very good. So, Dustin, you are one of the veterans of the Josie Music Awards. How does it feel to be a multiple nominee for the Josie Music Awards over the years, and what are you looking forward to the most this year?
Well, the first time I got nominated, I really had no clue about the Josie Awards. And, the years that's leading up to this one, we had a couple nominations, and then now we've got, I think, 3. It's just, it's a humble experience, and everybody in the independent music needs to witness it, at least feel it at least once or twice. It's a great opportunity.
So talk about specifically the categories you've been nominated in this year.
We've got, I'm looking here on the phone.
So many he don't even remember.
Artist of the Year, Modern Country. Male Vocalist of the Year in the JMA Alum Country. And then Impact Song of the Year for a song that me and a good friend wrote for PTSD. So we had a buddy that done a couple tours in Iraq that we kind of sat down with on the second verse of the song. And then the drums, we got a little military drum beat in the second verse, and it brings chills to you, when you hear it.
I wanted to add too, talk to us about Social Impact Song of the Year, because Taylor Hernley is another artist that's within our circle Overtones that is nominated. That is one that we see several musicians from Kentucky show up on.
Well, I think I don't even recall them being a Social Impact category in the coming years, but that means a lot to me, with especially the veterans, and we all know how that affects them coming home, and we witness it. So I just feel that this song relates to not just our military, but people in general working, the stress. So it's just it's a good song. When you hear it, it relates to a lot. That's a lot of the music that we play.
Now, I'm sorry, did you say that this song is the one that sings about the PTSD? Or was this another song?
No,
this is the song.
Well, the song that we're playing is not.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No, this is not. This one that is Where Did Time Go? But it just kind of brings you back to a little of what we need in our day-to-day lives. So this is just a song from the heart, Where Did Time Go? That's probably one of the favorites that I've written.
Now, you have also been a performer at the Josie Music Awards in the past, and you're performing this year?
No, I am not.
So for those who are performing, can you give them any advice and talk about that experience?
There's tons of people there. The people that are there to see you, and it's one of those things everybody says, you never know who's going to be there, you never know, but make sure your gear's there, the guys that are doing the sound, all the way down to the janitors, they are there to help you. So, just make sure you have your gear. They will point you in the right direction.
And also, we had the pleasure and honor of seeing Jeannie Seeley at the Josie Music Awards, as well as Lacey J. Dalton, who sang 16th Avenue.
The thing about it is, Renee, and it's just the fact that you're at an award show with musicians, people in your field. So, like you said, you don't know who's going to be there.
You have no idea.
You have no idea. And it's a room full of people that do what you do, and there's also, instead of musicians, there's promoters, there's booking people, there's concert. There's so much potential to meet somebody to put you in the right direction. So anytime you get an opportunity to perform or be nominated to go, or just go, go.
Yeah, I'm going to be staying down there Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, because if a lot of people don't realize, but that's the Songwriters Nights in Nashville. So, I'm going to hit a couple of those up, play some music while I'm down there on Monday and Tuesday, and, get a benefit from the entire feel of it. So, yeah, it's great.
Dustin, do you go to the Bluebird while you're there?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. The Bluebird, Songwriters Alley, all that stuff down there is great.
So you're familiar with the town?
Yes, a little bit. We had opportunity to move there about 5 years ago. I turned it down just for some other reasons, we won't discuss. But, yes, I love it. I try to go there as much as possible to interact with the people. And I tell everybody that, get down there, introduce yourself, get in the writers, get with the writers and learn. And that's you never know.
Absolutely. And, in today's age, we don't have to actually live in Nashville anymore to make music or even go to Hollywood to make movies. With the way things are now, you can do things right here. There's so many artists that have just made a name for themselves just living here in the state still. So even when you get to that point of fame and success, you don't even have to leave your home state anymore.
Nope.
So this song that we are going to play today, Dustin, it's called Where Did Time Go? Mm-hmm. I love the title. What went behind you naming it Where Did Time Go?
I've got a daughter, and she is 13. She's actually at a volleyball game right now. But, me and my wife was just cruising through life until she came along, and then it was just like, bam, 13 years. Mm-hmm. And I thought, a buddy looked at me, was drinking some beer, and he said, "Where did time go?" And I thought, what a hook. Yeah. What a hook.
Simple,
man.
but true.
Yeah, and then it evolved.
All right, well, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's play a little Dustin Burchett with Where Did Time Go?
Like they used to. I wish they'd get back to the real news. I wish that old water hole was just deep enough to jump right in and have a little fun. I wish every porch still had a swing. Every house had a tin roof when it rained. And it was the little things that made life worthwhile. What it wouldn't give just to see you smile. We grew up and settled down, made our names around these little towns. Kids have moved on. Look at how they've grown. We always say things move slow, but where did time go? Grandpa said 50 years of love. Believe me, son, it just ain't enough. You live your life, boy, you'll be okay. But just remember to get on your knees and pray. We grew up and settled down, made our names around these little towns. Kids have moved on. Look at how they've grown. We always say things move slow. Where did time go? Where did time go? We grew up and settled down. We made our names around these little towns. The kids have moved on. Look at how they've grown. We always say things move slow. Where did time go? Moves faster than you think.
you, Dustin, so much for being with us here this afternoon in the Radio Lex studio. And now, for my musical adoptee of the month, we are going to feature the music of Kevin McCoy Band from Cincinnati, Ohio. And he is not in the studio with us today, but his music sure is. So let's give it up for Kevin McCoy, everybody.
Yay!
Kevin is a BMI artist, a CMA member, and Nashville recording artist, and he's a singer-songwriter who combines rock and R&B influences and his unmistakable country voice with impeccable range, and we can testify to that, to create a style of music all his own. And Kevin and a melting pot of classic heavy Western Southern rock and rollers by his side make up the hard-hitting Kevin McCoy Band. And in the 10 years that the band has been together, they've been nominated for various Josie Music Awards, including Male Vocalist, Entertainer of the Year, Group of the Year, and Video of the Year for Blue Collar. And one thing I wanted to talk about Kevin is that and we were talking about Nashville and living here and visiting Nashville and working in Nashville and working here. Mm-hmm. One of the interesting things about Kevin is I knew Kevin on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And so Warren and I were down there to record an Overtones live show. We're doing Overtones Live now in Nashville. Yeah. And we went to see a friend of ours, Kyle Fields, who's from Greenup, Kentucky, right? Uh-huh. So he works and performs down there. Yeah. And there was somebody in the audience, and Kyle said, "Do you want to come up and play?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll play it too." And he said, "I'm Kevin McCoy." And he said, "I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio." And so he did some of his music, and I remembered that I'd met him on Facebook. And we have some mutual friends. He's also performed at the Twisted Cork before for the Songwriters in the Round. So without further ado, let's listen to some of Kevin's music from his library. And this is one I picked out. It's called Mansion.
Mama selling Tupperware, sister started cutting hair, daddy's in the kitchen cooking up a batch of meth. Grandma's a little worried, grandpa's a whole lot pissed about the color of little sister's baby skin. And I've cried tears and I've got scars. There's a history here tattooed on my heart. I can feel a mansion with the stories of my life, breaking down the walls of my single wife. Preacher on the TV tells me I am saved, but he says it's based on how much money I gain. 12 steps and I'm out of here, gonna set my demons free. I'ma leave this place, but this place will never leave me. And I've cried tears and I've got scars. There's a history here tattooed on my heart. I can feel a mansion with the stories of my life, breaking down the walls of my single wife. I've had less and I've had more. I ain't rich, but I ain't poor. I've had less, I've had more. I ain't rich, but I ain't poor. There's a million memories money just can't buy when you're living life in a single wife. And I've cried tears and I've got scars. There's
And that was Kevin McCoy. And let's give it up for Kevin. That was just awesome.
That was awesome.
And in a few minutes, we're going to be closing the show today with the Goodwin Brothers, but we have an opportunity here to talk with Warren Cobb, who's in the the audience with us. And Adam, you have a few questions for Warren since we have him in the studio today.
I'm very excited. First of all, thank you so much, Warren, for being here. First time on Off the Cuff.
It is, absolutely. My pleasure.
And for those who don't know, Warren is married to Renee. They are a official item. You guys went to Hollywood and attended the Hollywood Independent Awards. Right, I got that right. And that was awesome. I've been following your posts on social media. Can you talk to the audience about what that award show is and just a little bit about that and your experience going out to Hollywood?
Well, the experience was fantastic, as you can imagine, being in sunny California. This was both of our second time being there, actually. We got to spend a good part of a week touring.
Mm-hmm. Never together, though. We've been there separately.
Never been together. So the Hollywood Independent Music Awards is a fairly new awards show that is also celebrating independent music from around the world. So they get nominations from all over the world. As you can imagine, it was done in true Hollywood style, so similar to what you would see on TV with the Emmys or the Oscars or the Grammys or one of those shows.
That's right up my alley,
It was in a smaller venue because it is fairly new,
Mm-hmm.
so it was a little bit intimate, which was great for us, but just a beautiful setting and really well done. Diane Warren came in and was one of the presenters, and she was amazing. She's written every song that's ever been a hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were there for the Goodwin Brothers, who were on our show. They were nominated for, I think, Best Video Performance, Best Performance in a Video.
Best live performance or streamed performance.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Chase Bush was also nominated for Male Vocalist of the Year. He's one of the Goodwin Brothers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been on the show before.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went representing them, and the Goodwin Brothers won, which was amazing. So, yeah.
Now, Warren, you are most of the time a behind-the-scenes guy. You don't really get in front of the camera much. You don't get behind the mic much. So this is I feel like this is just a rare occasion that you are here. So do you prefer that? Do you like being behind the scenes?
I guess for me, I've always been sort of the role of producer or associate producer or producer. And so that is a background role. You try to stay out of the way. And make sure things get done that need to get done, and everything runs smoothly, and scripts are brought to the station, things like that.
Guilty as charged.
No, I just love how efficient you are, just with everything, and you do keep things moving at a rapid pace. And I just love that you are, because a lot of the times people want to be in front of the camera or behind the mic, but we need people like you to stay behind the scenes and do the producing, because everywhere I see Renee, I see you right there too. And you might not be getting the credit in front of the camera, but your work is certainly not going unnoticed by the people who... I mean, you are the reason behind a lot of the success of Overtones Live and listen locally.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. My whole thing has been convincing Renee that she could do this because, she started out never having done a radio show at all. And I said, why not? And so we came up with this idea for Overtones Live and the whole listen locally concept, of supporting,
Literally on a dinner napkin.
Yeah, supporting local music, open mics, things like that, So the behind the scenes part for me is helping her realize her dreams, and making sure that this thing is a success and lifts up other people. That's what it's about,
Right. Absolutely. Now, you and Renee, when I met you guys, I thought that you guys had just been married for 40, 50 years. That's not the case. You've only been married, 2-3 years? And it's a love story. Will you share it, please? I want you to share with the audience the love story of how you two met.
Well, we met in college. We both attended the University of Kentucky School of Music. She was a piano major. I was forced by my parents to be a different major for 2 years. And then I just said, nope, I'm going to major in music. you can help me or I can pay for it myself. And they finally relented, and I switched over. And so from there, I had about a 30-year career playing and singing out, lead vocals, lead guitar, all that. My major was in voice. So we dated some in college, went our separate ways, married and divorced twice. Both relationships on both sides were people that did not get us as far as being musicians, didn't follow our music, didn't like it. They always say, "Oh, I love that you play guitar," and then they go, "Well, why are you gone so much? Well, why aren't you making any money?" Well, So anyway, so we reconnected. I guess you could say late in life. I mean, we feel like we're young, but we're old enough to be our younger selves' parents. Yeah, and just realized we should have spent the last 40 years together when we did.
It gives me hope because, I just see you guys, the fact that you have found this new love so late in life and it's still blooming and new. I mean, it is awesome. And I was just blown away when I found out that you guys had only been married for just 3 or 4 years, which is 4 years?
Renee was a 92nd fiance.
That's very true.
I took her up to the Gorge. A friend of ours has a wedding business up there.
Rachel Crow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not kidding.
My tiny wedding up in the Gorge. And so I said, Rachel, I want you to send Renee an email and say, hey, I'd like you to get all dressed up for a photo shoot. Somebody's going to do an article on my business. I just need somebody to pose for pictures, right? So I said, I just wanted to pull something out of the closet that's nice, right? And I'll take her up there, and you're going to marry us. And she was like, I love this,
I'm all over
So
that.
Renee, of course, was all over the photo shoot. She had no idea.
Right.
I drove her up to the Gorge. Her dad was there with a boombox to play
Rachel's
music.
dad.
Rachel's dad. The photographer was there,
Yes.
and that was it, me and Renee. And so when I've got, it's all filmed and there's photos and stuff of the look on her face when she goes, wait, you mean this is not a photo shoot?
He said, this isn't a photo shoot. He said, I haven't been honest with you. And I'm looking at the cliff, right next to me.
Oh, God. You're like, oh, he brought me out here to push me off.
So we got married right then and there. And
well, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
And here we are 4 years later, and you guys are still going strong. You're a partnership. So let me ask you, you started this company. I just want to call it a company, Overtones Live. That's what I'm going to call it. Where do you want to push it to? What's the ceiling?
I don't know that we really have specific long-term goals. We've sort of tried to spread out throughout the state of Kentucky, and I think we're on 19 stations right now. And the thing I like about it is we're on community radio.
Yes.
That's where people actually listen to the radio.
And that's
Today,
where
right,
musicians
When you're
can get their
when you're in a small
music out.
town and you're kind of isolated, the closest grocery store is an IGA.
Right, yeah.
There's no Walmart. You listen to your local DJ, your local weatherman, the music that comes on, you can relate to.
Yep.
So that's what I love about what we're doing. It's kind of a grassroots thing spread out across, the state. You can hear us a little bit down in Tennessee and a little bit up in Indiana. So, it's growing. And all these things that we're participating in, the award shows, all this stuff, just kind of raises the presence and the game of people's awareness, of what we're doing. So I'm all for that.
Well, you both have really tapped into something really amazing. So keep doing what you're doing. Renee, you was also accompanying Warren out in Hollywood. You got to represent some of the nominees for those awards when they couldn't attend. Talk about your experience. You're no stranger to Hollywood.
Not until this year.
Well, I know. What a year you have been.
Oh, my goodness.
A phenomenal year.
This has been, my 60th year has been by far the best year of my life.
Wait, you're 60?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Inquiring Miles want to know.
I cannot believe that.
Yes.
I am blown away again.
And I ended, my 60th year. I'm actually 61. I ended my 60th year when I got back from Hollywood in April as representing Kentucky in the Remarkable Women, where I got to connect with a bunch of remarkable women all over the country that had been nominated by their local affiliate. So now what's come out of that is we're producing a TV show called Remarkably Purposed, and there'll be much more on that, but we're taking all of those stories and trying to make individual TV shows out of all 111 of those. So that's one place that our companies going.
So you just kind of said that like it was nothing, a TV show. Where can we watch this TV show?
It will be on The Scribe TV, which is transitioning to a name called TSTV, that Warren and I and Jonathan Goodwin are partners in. And we also, right now, you can find Overtones live performances on this TV network as well. And it's tstvnetwork.org.
Ooh, and the Goodwin Brothers, that's actually who we have closing out our show today.
Yes, we do. So it should not go without saying that the Goodwin Brothers have achieved so many things in 2023 as well. And it's nothing short of remarkable with 10 nominations this year for the Josie Music Awards. And we're going to be playing one of their songs that's nominated for Song of the Year and also Video of the Year. So we want to thank all of our guests first for coming on the show for this very special edition, series number 6 of the Josie Music Awards.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always fun. And thank you so much for having me co-host this. It was just, it was an amazing. And I feel like this is a great place to end this edition of Overtones Live, and Off the Cuff collab episode, coming to you live this evening from Radio Lex Studios from Gray Line Station in Lexington, Kentucky. And of course, again, just a big thank you to all of our guests for being here and the listening audience.
Yes, and as I mentioned, as we close the show, you're going to be listening to the Goodwin Brothers, and we're thankful for this inspirational work of musical art. And also, there's a big shout out to Matthew Hyatt, who we had on the show, for making this inspirational video, which you can find on thegoodwinbrothers.com. And until next week, this is Renee Cobb.
And I am Adam Banks.
And we're working in concert each and every week to bring you the best this great state of Kentucky has to offer music fans, reminding you that where words fail, music always speaks.
Have a great week filled with music, family, friends, and lots of love, everyone.
Listen locally, everyone.